Hey fams, welcome back to my channel India to America. I am Angad. I know like you guys know me from my previous videos and all. So let me shortly introduce you what I do. I am like a full stack developer in my company, and I have gone through like various tools and technologies. What like today what we are using kind of like React, Angular, HTML, JavaScript, CSS, SQL, DBS, DB2, Postgres. So what I have seen when a newcomer or like an experienced guy, also like experienced developer who are trying to develop a REST API from scratch, they face difficulties because they don't know like what all uh, jars they need to include into the pom.xml to start from the scratch, like building the REST API. So today we are gonna do that one, and I'll walk you through the process, like how simple it is like to build a simple REST API. It will take hardly like 10 minutes to build your like your normal REST API, and you can start your development from there. You can build your own application, web application, whatever like you want to do. So this will be like totally backend code where we'll be writing a REST controller, then we'll be calling it from a Postman. I'll put the links and each and everything, like my GitHub links, like from where I downloaded a Postman, and then how to set up your Spring REST controller. All those things I'll be talking like in depth in the video when I start my development. So let's jump to the development, and without wasting your time, we'll do all those activities. Let's start. Okay, let's start with the development of our REST API. So the tool what I'm using is IntelliJ IDEA. So let's check the version what I'm using. So I'm using the community edition, which is a free version. It's available on your on internet. You can download from there. I'll share the download link from where I have downloaded. The second tool what I'll be using is Postman to call our API. We can check like how we are getting the request and how we are getting the responses. We'll be like checking that. So I'll be like pasting a link from where to download the Postman. Okay, let's start. So before that, before starting, we'll create a like folder. I have created a folder like sample project. So I'll be creating a new project. So we'll be creating a Maven project. So let's do next. Let's create a project name called REST API. My first REST API. My first REST API. Okay. So you can see like we'll be having a group ID as org.example. So I can change my org, control Z, org.com dot my first REST API with a version snapshot as 1.0. Let's finish. Where do you want to open the project? The same window. So we'll be getting our project open over here. So you can see my first REST API. It came in with some by default pom.xml what we have rendered over here. So let's begin our development. Development is really easy in REST API. Apart from that, REST, well, like IntelliJ have some good intelligence. I can tell you like what all just should get downloaded. Okay, so we'll be creating a package con dot we'll be going with my first REST API. So this is not the standard way to write a package name. Let's refactor it. Refactor. I'll say REST API. Okay. Refactor. So what we'll be doing, we'll be writing our like start class called application. So this will be the entry point of our application. So for that I need something over here. So what I'll be needing prior to that, I'll be going over here and I'll be declaring the parent, because we need all the JavaScript to be downloaded from the parent. So let's write group ID. What group ID will be going for? Group ID, then group ID will be my org.springframework.boot. So what version? So group ID is this one, but artifact ID it went on top, so I'll be taking out here. But what I'll be needing, Springboard, then starter hyphen parent. We'll be having all the libraries downloaded from here. Okay, so now let's start with our development. So what we'll be needing, so to start with the like application, like a entry point, we'll declare, because this is a Spring Boot application, so we'll be like declaring Spring Boot application. So it says like it's not finding Spring Boot application. So let's go like add Maven dependency. So it will say like, okay, this is the one we'll add, but we'll not need that too. Okay, I'll let you know. So what I will do, I'll go to terminal, mvn install hyphen. You need to have mvn Maven installed on the system. I'll give a command for how to install Maven on your Mac. I'm using a Mac, so for Mac to install Maven, it's like really simple. Bro install mvn. This command will install mvn will install like Maven on your system. On Windows, I'll give the command. I don't have command handy, so what I will do, okay, so it's saying like cannot find a Spring Boot application because we haven't imported all the, okay, let's drag Maven over here. I like everything down here, so I will refresh. I'll build up my project. Okay, now I can see Spring Boot Maven, but I don't need this web configure. No, I need here web starter, Spring Boot starter web. I'll explain why I did this one. Even to start my application, I need some plugins. I'll be like writing a plugins. Plugin will go under build. So in build we have plugins. Inside we have plugin here. So now we'll be like going for group ID and artifact ID. What all will be needed? Okay. So group ID will be like plugin. So we'll be like going for Spring Boot Maven plugin. So here we have Spring Boot Maven plugin. Okay, this will start our server. This will help to start our server. Okay, so our application class doesn't have anything. Okay, so let's go inside this. We'll create a main method. So in IntelliJ IDEA, so you can write main, you'll get the IntelliSense. So here we'll be like, so now this is a Spring application, so we need a Spring application to run. So we'll be writing Spring application dot run. Okay, so what all parameter it needs? It needs the main class, entry class, application dot class, and it need args. Okay, so let's clean and install our project. Let's see what we get. Okay, so build success, we can see a build success. Let's compile, and before like running our application, we need to install the profile. What profile will be needing? Application. So we can write here application. So this is my like a REST API. So this is my application. You can give arguments, kind of like environment, what you want to say aside. You can give environment variable over here, but I don't want to give anything right now, so apply. Okay, so let's try to start. This is unnamed. Let me name something. This is unnamed. Okay, Spring app. Okay, okay, so now let's build a project entirely and see. Okay, now let's run. Okay, so right now I see like my application failed to start. Let's see why my application failed to start. Okay, everything is in place. Spring Boot starter parent. This is the parent independency is what I'm having. Spring Boot starter web. So this is not required. It will be automatically imported. Okay, because I believe so it's here. Okay, Let's build a rebuild a project and try to run. Okay, now you see it was just because I didn't compile my project properly. So you can see like application started on port 8080 here. You can see if you want to change the port, let me show you how to change the port. You can go to applications, then go to like create a new like resources, create application properties. Okay, you can give server dot port. If you don't get like intelligence, you equal 8081. Okay, so by default when you start your application, the registry try to like look for application properties. If you are trying to define properties based on your environment, kind of like a like QA environment, or like your testing environment or your production environment, you can have like application testing, application hyphen testing, that is like environment based loading. So based on the environment, but you have to like specify over here in arguments, program arguments, what all information like you are passing it out on what environment you are loading. So based on that, it will load the property files. So we'll cover that into our next chapter, but for time being, let's see like can I run my application on port 8080, sorry 8081. Okay, so you can see now my application started on port 8081, but I don't want to run my application on port 8081. I can take out this control Z. I'll keep this one here, but I'll comment it out. That's how you comment it. Stop, build. I'll rebuild my project. Okay, my project is entirely built. So now we'll be starting to write our controllers, REST controller. So let's go over here and define a package controller. So always go with some structure. So controller should be defined in controller package. Your services class should be defined in service package. So that gives a clear-cut idea to a new developers who will be coming to start the development. So they can know that this is the flow: controller, then services, then DAO. DAO is nothing but your repositories where you are doing data access objects interacting with database. So my controller will go here. Okay, so we'll be writing our first controller, new Java class. Let's write customer controller. Okay, now to start, when you say like a REST controller, so it means it is a REST. So REST controller will go like this. So we have declared the annotation for REST controller, but we need the domain. With what domain it will be getting called. So if you see like xyz.com slash, just call like Google slash get customer controller, Google slash get a customer list. So that is a domain. The domain name will be like appending it out. So at that request mapping. So from what will be the request, what will be the domain. So will be here like customer, or my first REST API, or you can have a REST API. So it will be like this. So we'll write the first get method. So when you say the get method, get is nothing but get is kind of a method type which is used to call from like from Postman, from external API tools, from your UI code. So this is kind of loose coupled code where your UI and your backend, they're totally separate, so you can work parallelly. So let's write get mapping. So initially we used to write like a request mapping, then get those things, but that have been changed with the new Springboard updates. So let's go here, get customer details or get customer list. Do you want to go with customer list or just a sample? Let's go. We'll go into the list later on. We'll start like try to like get first a sample like our controller working, REST controller. Public response. We'll be going with response entity string, get string. That's the reason I gave name get string. get string. So we'll make sure like our application is working. Return a new response entity. What will be saying? Hello Angad. Hello Angad. Then we'll be like giving HTTP status as okay. HTTP status not accepted. Okay. Not hell. It's hello. Let's build a project. Okay, project got built. So let's try to run our application and see like, are we facing any problem over here? No. So our application got successfully ran. So now let's try to like call get string from tool. This is a Postman. Either you can log in or you can download from your internet and try to run. I'm testing my created REST controller. So what we should be calling get string. So we are trying to call get string. Oh sorry, I copied something different. Okay, so authorization is not required because this is local, no header, no body, just parameter. That's fine. There you go. I can see hello Angad. This is the response what I'm sending and status okay. So you'll be seeing status okay. Let me send some different status over here. Bad gateway. Let's see what we'll be getting. But let's see, does it do the like hotfix? I don't see it do hotfix. Recompile. No, it didn't did the recompile. So we'll stop the server and we'll start again into debug mode. This is debug mode and this is start mode. Okay, so this is started. So let's start to like see, we got hello Angad and we got the status as bad gateway because we defined over here bad gateway. So that's how you that's how you try to like return the response based on the exceptions or whatever content you have or like whatever response you want to send. But my response is like okay, so it's success. So I'll be sending out a success response. So this is just a string. Sometimes you need some integers, some values to be getting calculated. You can just throw away like int over here. So this is like string. Let's try to like send some JSON object. Okay, so get string as output. So we'll be like sending get JSON as output. JSON as output. Okay, so for JSON I'll instead of declare this object because object can be like string, map, integer, so and so. So we'll declare here some map. Map. Okay, string map equals to new hash map. We'll initialize map. Okay, so we put something in map. Control Z dot put, not put all, it should be put. So what should be should be writing name. What's the name? That's a key is a name. You know, I assume like you know the Java basics. So key is name and value is Angad here. Okay, so now I need to send this as an output. Okay, so if you see here the same object, but I need to change the method name. Okay, so everything is done. Let's build the project. So right now I'll be seeing a JSON as an output. So let's start. I'll copy this because we need to call this method. I'll duplicate this one. I don't want to disrupt. Okay, get JSON as output. There you go. Name Angad and like this is my key. This is a value what I'm having. Response status okay. I can add multiple things here like name, age 34, then state. I'll be trying to add state. Don't try to like type each and everything. If you have something handy, use always like shorthand keys. State, I live in Iowa. Country, okay, name, country, United States, United States of America. Okay, let's stop and rerun our server. Okay, So now let's try to like get a JSON as output. There you go, you got a response. So I can use this response on my UI code and I can render the fields. So this is really a simple like methods for REST controller. So now we'll write a post call. So let's see like how our post call looks. So for post call we'll be like having a post mapping. So let's have let's call an API name called save customer. Okay. Public, we'll be having public. Let's try to like return some string. So I'll copy from top, not the entire content. I don't want to like write each and everything again and again. Save customer. Okay. Okay, so now we need to return something. So let's copy this one. We'll be returning a string. So we'll try doing like mock data saved. Okay. So now when we say like save customer, we expect some object. So objects will be getting in a body. So it's a request body. So let's assume like this is the object we'll be getting customer. So we don't have customer right now. So let's go into a folder structure and create a new package called customer. Okay, so in customer we'll be like creating a Pojo customer, and we'll be like writing all like variables what we'll be needing to save. For example, private int id. Let's have id equals, not equals, it's id. Then we'll be having private string name, private int age, private string address. Okay, so now let's generate the setter and getter for this one. For in idea it's like generate getter and setter. So select this all, generate. Getter setter got created. So it says like two problems. What's the problem? Let's see. Import com domain customer. Okay, it's a problem. So we have here now response body is not imported. It's not response body, it should be request body. Req request body. Okay, so let's capture what all things we can have in customer. So sysout is a shorthand command for system.out.println. So id customer dot get id. Okay, let's copy. I don't know, sometimes it copies entire, but sometimes I forget. id name age so get name, get age, get address. Okay, let's start our server. And what happened? Okay, the customer doesn't exist, so something got wrong over there. Let's start. Okay, our server started. Let's go to like save customer here and declare the object whatever we need to pass. id, so we need in double quote id. So what id will be passing, like one, name in double quote, good, then age 34, address is nothing but Iowa. Okay, now let's hit. Oh, what's happening? Something is going wrong. Okay, data saved. Let's see, did we capture? Yes. What all details, like we tried like print out here? What's happening? Okay, my key got disrupted. Okay, no worries. So if you see here, like if I put a breakpoint, let's hit again, you see customer object. Let's inspect, like ID, name, age and address we can see here. Let this go and we see like our console output, ID, name, age and address. Congratulations to my dear friends, like you learned today how to create a sample, not a sample, a simple REST API with by using Springboard 2. This is really simple. Similar fashion we can do delete, put, patch, but for a timing, for a start, we'll be like going with the get and post, and in our next session we'll be trying to like save the data into a database. I'll be using a Postgres, so be prepared. I'll be like posting my next video in a couple of days, so where we'll be seeing like how we'll be like saving a customer, how we'll be retrieving, deleting a customer from database. So that will be kind of like a end-to-end flow. So for time being, goodbye. Let me know if you have any questions, and please subscribe to my channel India to America. I'll be like and keep on looking on to my channel because I'll be like posting some good stuffs over there. So for time being, bye bye, see you.